Hi guys, how are you? Hi Amber, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm so excited that you're doing my show again. You're one of my faves. I absolutely love you. Now, the last time I interviewed you, you seemed very serious about not going back. You
I'm
said you
still
were
very
not
serious.
going back. Yeah, you are not going back. Has it been a struggle?
No, not really. I mean, I just listen, I work so much and I stay so busy that I mean, I really just don't have room for that kind of shit.
Well, yeah, I'm very proud of you, by the way. I mean,
Thank
it's
you.
a hard thing to do, and you seem to um, stick to your promise. Okay, so listen, but Puppy's Road seems a little bit more rocky. You know, it just does. Do you know why it's so hard for her? What do you think it
Um,
is?
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
I really I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't know.
yeah. You're still very close to her mother, right?
Yes. Yes.
I really like her. What was her name? I forgot.
Kathy.
Kathy, yeah. She seems very concerned about her daughter. There's a lot going on with Puppy this season. Puppy seems very heartbroken over the fact that you two didn't survive as a couple. Do you think that affected her deeply?
I think that I don't know. That's kind of a weird question for me because we were never in like a, we were never like in like an official relationship, you know?
Oh, really?
Uh,
Wow.
I mean, what you saw on the show was pretty much, you know what I mean, what it was.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't, I think it's just hard for me because I care about her so much, and I did everything that I could possibly think of to do for her to like set her up for success and
Yeah.
and to help her when she got out, and she wasn't, she didn't take it quite as serious, the working and the being on the straight and narrow and putting your best foot forward all the time, and that was hard for me. So, and I truly believe in, like, if you care about somebody and you're their real friend, that you're supposed to hold them accountable. So I was trying to do that, and it was causing us to butt heads. So I didn't really know what else to do other than, like, show her some tough love and be like, hey, I gotta go.
Yeah, maybe she didn't realize what you were trying to do. Maybe that
Yeah.
was the problem. Why Sammy over Puppy?
I mean, it wasn't really a, like, I got to pick one of them. It wasn't never like that. It was just, her and I were butting heads so bad because it was like, it just got to the point that everything that I said, she was taking super personal instead of saying, hey, maybe she is looking out for my best interest. That we were just butting heads so much that there, you know what I mean? How do you continue like that?
Yeah, yeah. How long did you date Sammy before the second reunion?
Um, what do you mean? I mean, we were together in the past for like
Right,
4 years.
that's what I meant.
We didn't talk for like 10 years.
Oh,
Yeah, we didn't talk for like 10 years, and then um and the funny thing about the story, so when I first met Sammy and we got together, he had two young children, a boy and a girl, and his baby mom had brought them to us, and her and I became really good friends.
oh,
I love the kids, and the whole 10 years that him and I didn't talk, like I helped take care of the kids. I stayed in contact with her the entire time, and she's actually the one that got me back in contact with him.
wow. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
So how long when you were with him did you guys date, you and Sammy?
Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, like a year.
What was your
I mean, we're
relationship
still
like?
dating now. What do you mean? I mean, we're still dating now. So it's been like, I'm trying to think of where. Okay, so when I first got out filming with Vince, then Puppy, then I'm trying to do the math here. So it's been like a year, a little over a year or something.
What was your relationship like when you were with him in the past?
It was turmoil. It was rough. But I mean, I would like when I met him, you know what I mean? I was like selling all this dope and running the streets and doing all this crazy shit. And he was doing the same thing. So it was crazy.
So he was a part of the life, you know,
Before, yes.
felon.
Yeah.
I mean, how did he get out the life? That's what I call it, the life.
Same way I did prison. And then he
Oh,
got prison and he got sober.
oh, wow. Okay. Do you have confidence that that's behind him?
At this point, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to do. It seems
It's
like
not
you're
easy.
it's yeah, huh? It seems like uh you're rare. You seems like you made up your mind. I'm not going to do that, but it's not so easy for other people, and it seems to be more difficult for Puppy. You know, this new guy. What's his name on the show that she's dating? Where
I think his name's Eric.
is? Do you know if he's a part of the life? He looks
I
like it.
don't I don't know him at all. I haven't even met him at this point.
He seems very, very.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know him. I haven't even met him at this point. So I can't answer that. I don't know.
I mean, I feel bad for Puppy. She's struggling. It seems like that her relationship to you with you is very important, whether it's friendship or whatever. How close are you and Puppy after you've gotten out? Do you go long periods without seeing her? Are you guys still best? Would you consider you and her best friends?
I mean, she'll always be one of my best friends, of course. I mean, we went through some of the hardest shit, you know what I mean, we've ever went through together. So, I mean, that's a bond that doesn't just stop, but yeah, we do go long periods of time without talking. And but as you guys seen in the last couple episodes, I pulled up on her, got
You
cussed out.
did.
I got
Yeah.
cussed out. But then she called me
You
for
did.
breakfast. We had
Mhm.
breakfast, so I think as of right now, things are good.
I mean, that's really cool, Amber, that you still love her like that as a friend, and you go and you check on her and you make sure she's okay. So because she seems to be struggling. How's your mom? Is she going to be on this season?
I think my mom's gonna be on a little bit this season, but my mom is doing the best right now she's ever done in my entire life. Like
Oh,
there isn't anything that I can think of that I could ask her to do more than what she's already doing now.
oh, that's so good, Amber. It's really good. Is your mom close to Puppy?
I mean, of course we were all close at prison, but my mom lives in Indiana, so she's not she's far away. But as far as communication wise, I think that my mom tries to reach out to her on a regular basis.
Yeah, you met Puppy in prison,
Hmm.
and that's how you developed the strong bond that you guys. You didn't know her before, right? At all?
I didn't know her at all before.
What's it like? This is a crazy question, but as this crossed my mind. When you're in there, when you're locked up, um, do you do your friends just leave you alone and you're just there stuck with the people that are locked up, or what's it like? Take me through a journey. It sounds crazy, but what's it like being locked up?
I mean, I will say this. So prison, I'm like one of those people, like I can adapt to anything. I can make the best out of any situation. And I did that in there. But and I had my mom too, thank God for that. That made it way
Right.
easier.
Yeah.
But you know, you when you're in this when you're in the streets and you're running the streets and you're selling all this dope and you're helping all these people out and you're doing all this marvelous shit, you think. And
Fast
then
food.
yeah, and then you get locked up. None of those people slow down when you go away. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Life on the outside does not slow down when you go away.
Hmm.
So, people's lives continue and you are stuck in there thinking about all the what ifs, all the, I should have, I would have, I could have, and yeah, for the most part, I mean, I'm not going to say, I mean, I did have a lot of good friends, old friends that were my friends from the streets that got their lives together, that were there for me while I was in prison. But are they there for you to call every single day? Hell no. They got lives. They got families. They've got jobs. They're doing normal shit, and that's
Wow.
hard. And
Yeah.
prison is the loneliest place I've ever been in my life.
Wow. Yeah. Because you're
You know,
just in there. Do you feel
I mean, you're
forgotten?
trapped. I mean, you're trapped. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You can't there, and there's nothing you can do about it. But I
Yeah.
mean, I'm like I said, you have two choices when you're in there. You're either going to be miserable or you're going to make the best of it. You know,
Was it
and that's
that basic for you? A conscious decision?
yeah, it was. And I did that. I mean, I did everything that I could in there to stay busy. I took every program, every class that I could possibly take that I could sign up for and take, I took. I did all the Celebrate recoveries. I did every reentry program that I could get into. I did, I've got 3 electrical Georgia State electrical certificates. I did vocational trade school for electrical. I can wire a house from nothing to finished by myself. Yeah, I did. I was in concert choir in there, which is like a traveling, you have to try out to be on it. It's like a traveling choir. And there's like 30 out of 1,800 plus women that get picked to be on this choir. I was in that. I did everything I could possibly think of to stay busy in there.
You can sing?
Yeah.
That's really, seriously?
Yeah, I've been singing my whole life.
Taking those classes, would you say that they helped?
I mean, I think that they help. I mean, I had already, it wasn't the first time I'd taken all those classes, and I had been through all that stuff. And, like Celebrate Recovery is not just a recovery thing, it's a faith-based thing. So, but I think that just being involved in all that positive stuff, helps you stay in that mind frame. Like I can maintain happiness here because I have to,
Is it a choice? Do you have to take those classes?
No. It's a choice.
But I hear that prisons can be just as fast-paced as the outside. Is that true?
I mean, it can be if you're like, I mean, it depends on what you want to involve yourself in. I mean, if you want to be in the middle of all the, then of course, if you want to have 100 girlfriends and be fighting over each other and having sex and doing all kind of crazy shit, you can do that if you want to. And I mean, a lot of people do that and it makes their time go by fast. I get it, but that wasn't, you know what I mean? That just wasn't my goal.
Yeah, I'm very proud of you. Like I said, from day one, you seemed very determined and you didn't waver. So that doesn't mean life is easy.
And it's not, but I mean, it's what you make of it too,
Yeah. I was talking to, I believe it was Brittany, and she was talking about the problems that she was having on the outside as being a felon. Are you a felon?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
She was saying like people find it hard to find jobs, to rent places. Did you experience the same things?
It is hard to rent places. I will say that it's hard to rent places, but I think that it depends on where you're at too. Like,
You mean?
like in the city, like in Atlanta, here in Atlanta, it's easier because people are, you know what I mean? You might have to pay more deposit at some place. Some places just won't do it, but there are some places that will let more things slide. Like in Canton, where I work at Sidelines, ain't no apartment complex they're going to rent to me.
Wow.
But I'm blessed enough, like the owners of my company, when I first went in there for my interview, I just laid it out for them. This is what I'm working with here. This is what I did. And they're like, no. I'm like, no, let me explain so you understand. And, I've been with them so long and they've taught me so much and I progressed so much with them that they're like, hey, if you want to move up here, let us know. We'll buy a house. You got a place to rent.
Wow.
Sometimes really? I feel like it's kind of, if you put enough hard work and you build enough opportunity for yourself to make things happen sometimes too,
What you're saying is that it's not impossible. Your struggle is just harder than others. Yeah.
Yes.
So the last time I talked to you, you were fresh out. And at that time, Puppy was still Vince's daughter.
I think she still is Vince's daughter. I don't think anybody's done anything about that.
Can you unadopt someone?
Okay, so what that lawyer was telling us was that because he did forge his signature on her paperwork, which that came out last season. That came out last.
What? Really?
Yeah. She filed and paid for the actual paperwork that he filed to adopt her. He did forge her signature. So her options are she can take it to the law and say he did this illegally, which she don't, she could do that, or
would that mean jail time?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Or she can, hire an attorney, which is like a bunch of money and get them to handle it.
I didn't catch that part last season. I'm blown away.
Yeah.
Wow. And so she knows that he forged and it's just out in the open. Everyone knows. Why would he do that? Why would he do that? Why didn't he just get her to, I'm confused.
I think because I don't know. I have no idea because I don't talk to him, but my guess is that, he was so steadfast on, I'm going to get some extra money somehow, that he was just doing whatever he thought he could do to to make it happen. You know what I mean? It started with trying to marry me right away. He couldn't. I was married. Then he wanted to adopt me. I was like, hell no.
He wanted to adopt you?
Yeah, he asked me that first. I was like, hell no. Yeah.
Amber.
You know, and he didn't even push the adoption thing on her until her and I were separated. We were in different prisons. I was in the transitional center, so I had a phone, and he was in contact with her for me. And yeah, he approached her with it. And then, and you know, but like I told you before, he had all these like grandiose ideas, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to start this, and I'm going to do whatever. And he was always like preaching shit like that to us. So Puppy said when he mentioned it to her, she just thought it was another one of these fucking off the wall ideas that he would talk about, and then they would just fade away.
I'm sorry, Amber.
She said then she got the paperwork, and she was like, what the fuck?
Sorry. I didn't know. This is crazy. It's so much. So you don't have any relationship now with Vince. Are you in contact with him?
No, not
Have
at
you
all.
been seeing all the stuff that's been going on with him in the news?
I haven't seen all the stuff that's been going on with him. I did see a little bit. Somebody sent me where you interviewed Jarita. Jarita had reached out to me and was like, you know, she was like, you know, you're smarter than I am because, you know, you've seen through the bullshit and you got the hell on. And then that was pretty much it. But I just hope that, you know, she knows her worth and she knows that she needs to get the fuck away from him.
Did Vince was he ever aggressive towards you or put his hands on you?
No, not at all. I mean, pretty much our relationship consisted of what happened before I got out, which was just over the phone, and it was mainly email, but then over the phone. And then, you know, what you guys saw in the first season, as far as our relationship, that was it. I mean, when I told him, hey, I'm done, you got to go, like it was it, you know?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So you seen the interview. Did you see your face? It's pretty bad.
I did.
Yeah. Just absolutely.
And somebody sent me when they got into it and like the first time and she had kicked through that window or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Somebody sent me before any of that even aired. She posted any of it. She had sent somebody that does a show like you do. I guess I can't remember the lady's name. I've never been on her show, but she reached out to me in the middle of the night and was like, sent me all this stuff that she had sent her, and I was like, I don't, you know what I mean? All I can do is pray for her. You know what I mean? I hope that she gets away from him. You know, I really wasn't involved in the situation at that point.
Have you ever been through that in a relationship? Have you ever been in an abusive relationship?
Yes, I have. Yeah, I have. It wasn't that extreme. It was never that extreme. Like that was bad.
Yeah. Did you have to end the relationship? And how did you do it?
I mean, you know, I guess, you know, you got to remember, like most of my life, I've been in the streets, running the streets, selling dope, you know, getting high, doing whatever. So, I mean, I think when, you know, you got all that shit going on too, and shit's like, it's like turmoil all the time. You get to a point like I always just got to a point like, listen, you're fucking up my money, you know, or you know what I mean? Like this, I can't deal with this. And I just get the hell on.
You've been in the streets. How old were you when you started?
Young. I started getting high. I started doing hard drugs. I did cocaine for the first time when I was like 11.
11? Amber.
Yeah. I started doing hard drugs. Like it wasn't meth back then. It was like crank or whatever. But I started doing crank when I was like 13. I started like for real selling drugs when I was like 14, 15.
Wait. Whoa. Just stop. How does a 14-year-old find themselves in that situation? 14?
And it was so fun. It's funny too, because it was like everybody I hung out with was like older than me. And, you know, we would all party and like all these younger girls would be like, you know, they would like sleep with all these guys and do whatever. And I was like, oh, I can't do that. I was like, I got to find a way that I can get high that I don't have to, you know what I mean? So it was like, I guess I'm going to have to start getting some money so I can afford my habits, you know?
You grew up fast then, right? Because you got to be pretty street smart to even get into that life.
Yeah.
Wow. Amber, shocking, very shocking. You've always seemed very wise to me. Would you say you're an old soul?
Yes. Yeah. I get that a lot.
Yeah. Some people are just born that way. I think you are born that way.
Thank you.
So, were you ever an addict?
Yeah. Almost. Listen, I did hard drugs more years of my life that I've been alive than what I haven't. I'm just now, okay, my sobriety mark, I was 6 years sober on September 11th, okay? And I'm just now, like in the next 2 years, I will breach not being able to say that anymore.
I'm proud of you, Amber. That's a hard life.
Thank you.
That is, you see, I'm blown away. I'm just shocked. How did you get clean? Prison?
Oh, well, I went to prison, yeah. And it wasn't because I didn't have any access to drugs in jail or prison, because like everybody, you know, I got locked up in Rockdale County, and that's where I'm from here in Georgia. And everybody that would come through there that would, you know, like get pulled over with a sack and shove it would come in and be like, oh, here, take this. They get out the next day, and I just flushed it. I just knew when I got locked up, I knew that it was coming. I knew that what I was doing was wrong. And, you know, all the signs were there. I didn't want to pay it any attention. And I knew that I was done. Like when I got locked up, I knew that was it.
Nobody's had a talk with you and said, you've got to stop this?
No, I knew that that was it. You know, and I prayed about it. Like, you know, I got Mothers Against Meth came when I was in Rockdale County, and they hand out these life recovery Bibles, and it's like a layman's term Bible. So I got into my first prison sentence, I read some of the Bible, but I never read it all the way through. So I was like, I'm going to read this all the way through because I could understand it. So I did that. And then somebody sent me it's called Key to Your Expected End. It's like a prison ministry workbook. And I read through that, and the lady in the book in the workbook was talking about all the signs. Like, you know, they showed her this sign and this sign, and she didn't pay any attention. I was like, oh my God. And I wrote out like every single thing that happened to me leading up to my arrest that was a sign. And I knew it was a sign. I just didn't, you know what I mean? And I just knew, you know, as I'm reading through all that, I kept praying, you know, this is because I didn't get caught with anything. I got set up times 2. I didn't get caught with any drugs. They charged me with 455 grams of meth. I just fronted my last pound to one of my friends from Kentucky.
Wait. Please don't overtalk. How much?
Okay, so this is what happened. I had went that morning and I picked up 10 bricks. I come back.
Wait, you were a real dealer. That's a lot.
I came back. I got rid of all of it. I didn't have a license at the time. Okay, so I got rid of all of it, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm supposed to use my buddy's truck. I don't have any shit to give him. So I went somewhere else and got some more. I got 1 brick. I got rid of a pound of it on the way back. I had a pound left. And I was waiting on my buddy to come. Well, he called me one time, and then he's like acting funny. He's not coming. So I was like, my buddy from Kentucky called. He's like, I'm in town. I need to come see you. I was like, you can come get the rest of what I got. Fuck it. I fronted him that pound. They were already setting up on me. They followed him a mile down the road, and he said he got it from me. So that's what I got charged with, that 455 grams. But they never caught me with nothing. I never had a bond. So I kept praying while I was there. I kept praying. I was like, God, if this is what is meant to be, give me some kind of a sign. So I went to court like 6 times. They kept offering me 30 do 10, 30 do 10. That was my only plea. I go in there.
Wait, how long?
A 30 do 10. That was the only offer. That was my only offer. So I was like, fuck it. Because I was like, fuck it, I'll take it. So when I walked in front of the judge in that courtroom, I have never felt so at peace in my entire life. It gives me goosebumps just thinking about it right now. I just knew then I just knew that, because I had been praying, if this is what is meant to be, if this is what you have set forth for me, give me some kind of a sign. And I've never been more at peace than when I went in there and took that plea. And I just knew that this was supposed to happen like this. And look at me now. You know what I mean? Look at me now.
That is, I've never heard that before. Wow. I don't even know I don't even know how to digest that. Most people are scared or try to lie their way out of it. And you know how.
Yeah, I mean, but I knew then that was what was meant to be. It was supposed to happen like that. And I knew that was the turning point of me changing the rest of my life.
Whoa. What was Puppy in there for? The same thing?
Yeah.
And you guys just happened to click when you were in there. Wow.
Yep.
That's why you're one of my favorite, because like I said, what you're doing isn't easy. It's not easy. It's so. Do you watch other episodes?
I don't really watch much TV. I work so much, and I've recently gotten into I'm going to the gym 5-6 days a week, and I don't even barely watch TV. So on Saturdays, I go on YouTube and I just scroll through the show and watch our little segments, so I know what I'm allowed to talk about on social media and whatever, and that's about it, really.
Well, I think you're probably one of the few, maybe one or two, that have stayed on the straight and narrow. And I remember I was talking to you last time, and you said you made a conscious decision you weren't going to do that. And now you're saying that it's easy for you.
I mean, it's just, I don't want it. You know what I mean? I mean, I get if you want something bad enough, You know what I mean? You'll make it, you do whatever it takes to make it happen. So I've just, I've completely separated myself from all that kind of stuff. And I work hard and I just do normal shit now.
On the last episode, you agreed to go on a double date with Amber's, I don't know what we're going to call him, guy. What made you do that?
Well, because she made that little comment to me about him keeping her on a tight leash. So now I'm thinking, I'm a little concerned. Well, I mean, on one hand, I'm like, well, that's probably a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, I try to keep you on a tight leash too, But on the other hand, I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm concerned for my friends. So, and I want for us to be able to maintain a friendship. And I know that us both being in relationships, this has to be like a mutual thing for it to even work out.
You didn't even see the episode that he's kind of controlling a little bit, like not nice.
I did see a little bit of it. I don't know what all he knows about me. You know what I mean? So I don't know what she's told about me. I don't know as far as that goes. I mean, but I guess I got to meet the guy and, give him a chance.
Is Sammy going to be on any upcoming episodes?
He, actually, I just saw a preview, I think yesterday. I think he's going to be on Friday.
Oh, wow. Amber, listen, your story is just as interesting as it was in the previous seasons, even though it's a major turn. We gone from Vince to Sammy. It's very different, but it's still very intriguing. I absolutely love it.
Listen, one thing I know for sure, it just gets better from here.
Better than this?
Yes.
I'll be there every step of the way. I'll be there every step of the way. And still, I want to, I don't know. I'll talk later. It would be great if you could come back one day with Puppy. I'm very interested in her story, and I love you guys' bond. And you are a good friend to her, and vice versa. Versa. You guys are good for each other. I really, really like it. Amber, oh my gosh. I never knew about your backstory. You were like a kingpin. You were a kingpin. But I'm very proud of you. This life is better. You don't want to be behind bars. Very proud of your accomplishments. I'm going to keep watching. Yeah. I'm not joking when I say I'm very proud of you, because what you did is very, very hard to do. And I have a lot of people on the line in my family, and it's like relapse becomes a part of they'll try and then they'll fall off. They'll try and it's just draining on the whole family.
Yes, so I know that. And that's another thing. Isn't it? That's another thing. And I've said this before that, one of the hardest things for me, like in prison, was I just knew how bad that I had hurt everybody in my family. I knew how bad that I had, let everybody down, and I wasn't living up to my potential. But then when I got out that first season and I did the whole family reunion thing, and I saw everybody and everybody was crying, and I just saw the hurt and you know what I mean? Like I can't, it's that weighs on me. That was one of the hardest things for me. And I can't imagine. I just like, it's scary. The thought of disappointing everybody, letting everybody down again, hurting everybody again after all the shit I've put them through my whole life. Like I can't bear the thought of that.
What advice would you give somebody that's caught in that cycle?
I mean, you just have to, you can't be afraid to ask people for help, first of all. Like when you go, especially, it's one thing when you go to prison or you go to jail and you're kind of stuck, and then you have a lot of time to think and to process and to get sober. But it's a completely different story when you're in the free world and you have access to shit and you can go do whatever. But if you're in a bad situation and you want to get sober, you have to remove yourself from the situation.
What do you mean by that? Get rid of all your friends? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, you've got to remove yourself from the situation. You got to go to a safe place with somebody that's going to keep your ass aligned and hold your ass accountable. And you can't be afraid to ask people for help.
But what if your family's part of the situation? What if they're all addicts too? I've had that before.
I mean, you got to remove yourself from the situation. You got to find somebody that is not involved, and you've got to get the hell away. I mean, I'm not saying you got to stay away forever, but sometimes for some people, that's the only thing they can do is stay away forever. Because as soon as some people, not everybody has the willpower to be around something or know that something is around and say no, and everybody's different, but I mean, you just got to really want it. You know what I mean? You got to really want it, and you can't be afraid to work for it, and you can't be afraid to ask for help, because it's not being in the free world and going from getting high every day to getting sober is not something you're going to be able to do all by yourself. You're going to need some kind of help, period.
You don't have a life coach? You did it all on your own?
Yeah, I don't have somebody just asked me the other day, they're like, do you go to meetings? I was like, No.
You
I
don't go
was
to
like, I'd
meetings.
recommend them. I would recommend them for other people, you know what I mean? But no, I just go to work every day. I stay busy.
You're rare, Amber. You're blessed
Thank
because
you.
it's not that easy for a
I am
lot of
blessed. You're right.
people. That's why I'm so proud of you. You're an example for other people, other cast members. You don't watch other seasons, but people struggle. They struggle with it.
I
It's
know. I know. And I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy. And I know everybody's different. And each person, no matter what their addiction is or what their mindset is, every person that struggles with addiction struggles with something different, you know? Everybody's situation is not the same. But I
right.
do know for a fact that every single person that is fighting addiction and trying to get sober, you cannot do it alone. You've got to have some kind of help, whether it be meetings, whether it be, a family member, positive, sober support, a life coach, like you said, something. You got to have something, somebody to help hold you accountable.
Hey, have you ever thought about helping others when you
Yeah.
feel like it?
And actually, and yeah, I have. And that's funny you said that because a lot of people reach out to me on, like on my Facebook and on my IG
Oh, they do.
and when yeah, and they ask me for advice. They ask me for advice about themselves, their family members, and
Yeah.
they ask me about programs, and I give them, whatever that I have that I can give, I give it to them. I probably talk to people that ask me about stuff like that more than I do people like, you're so pretty and I love you.
Wow, you are a role model if you think about it. Not even planning to be, just by being on television and your struggles. They
Yeah, and,
people will
and that's
help.
part of the reason that I like it so much. Like people really reach out to me and they're like, "Hey, you give me so much hope. You've made me want to change my life. And that's the goal. You know what I mean? I want to be a good example for people because I mean, I've done a lot of fucked up shit. You know what I mean? And if I can do it, and if I can guide you, if there's anything I can do to guide somebody else into doing it, you know, God be.
Thank you for opening your life to us. It's not easy, is it? Filming and long hours and stuff like that. But
It's not easy, but it's good for me though. That go, that
oh,
busy,
really?
that's good for me. Yeah.
Oh, a lot of people complain about it. They
No,
say it's
no,
like
it's really good for me. It's really good for me.
really good.
Yeah.
I'm so I know I keep saying it, but I really am proud of you. I have a family that struggles with addiction. And so I'm on the other end. I'm like, it's tiring for the people that love you. And we
I
go
know.
through, you take us through that journey with you.
I know. I know.
It's
And that was one of the hardest things that I had to deal with when I was in prison is that I really had to come to that conclusion. Like, damn, this is what I did. I did that. And I'm lucky enough that, and I didn't do it once. You know what I mean? I didn't just do it once. I did twice. You
oh,
know, I've
yeah.
went to prison twice. Yeah. And
Oh,
I, I'm lucky enough that all my family, like, I've regained their trust. I've re-earned their trust, and they believe in me again. And
good for
like
you.
I said before, like that, I cannot bear the thought of ruining that.
I'm so glad you're on the show. Your storyline is an inspiration to a lot of people. And you said it's going to get better. I can't believe it. Oh my God. I love the show. I love your storyline.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Amber. Ooh, you have to come back again. I can talk to you. Now this will be our third interview. Please come back.
I
Every
will. I
time it's
will
like a new
anytime.
new. Yeah, I learned so much about you this interview, even though I talked to you before. That's really crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
anytime.
yeah. Thank you so much.
You're
Any last
welcome.
words, Amber?
No, that's it. I mean, like I said, I'm trying to, I'm like, I'm doing a 30-day cleanse right now.
Well,
I've
that's
been going to the
hard.
gym 5 or 6 times a week. I'm just trying to be the best I can be. I feel amazing.
5 or 6 times a week. Okay, I got to stop it because
Okay.
that's hard. That's unbelievable. Cleanse means you're eating very clean, right?
Yes, I'm doing two, it's actually a program that I'm doing. But I'm doing 2 protein shakes a day, one organic meal, snacks, everything I eat is organic. Like I said, I'm doing the whole gym thing. I'm gonna probably in like a month or two, I'm gonna do like before and afters. Uh,
Oh,
so yeah, so stay tuned for that. That's gonna be
that's so
interesting.
good. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's even hard to do. That's hard to do. That's
yeah,
very hard to do. Anyway,
yeah.
thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, Amber. Thank you so much.
Thank you, honey. It's good talking to you again.
See you next time. Bye bye.
Okay.